What's up, guys? It's John the Pilot. If you're watching this video, you probably stumbled upon the IRONSURGE Pull-up Bar, which is sold on Amazon. Full disclosure, a gentleman by the name of Mike reached out to me. He sent me a pull-up bar 100% for free, and he wanted me to try it out and give you my thoughts. So just like anybody, I'm going to go ahead and do some research to take a look, number one, if this business is legit, number two, to see how many different variables and options there are, and to see if three, more people reviewed it, and this is kind of what I did. Okay, I'm here on Amazon, and this is what was sent to me. So right off the bat, as I'm looking at everything, it's got 61 ratings. It's got a pretty decent amount of, reviews so far. Let's take a look in here. We got, all right, yep, we got some cool pictures of some really fit people, which I definitely am not, but it looks like it comes with some options here. Okay, we got, look at that, 27 to 37 inches, 37 inches to 47 inches, 46 inches to 53, which I'm going to show you here because the only place I could really do it in my house, I had a 51-inch area. Otherwise, I don't have too many hallways. It's kind of weird how my house is developed. But maximum weight's 440 pounds. Okay, it looks like it does a wall mount. The cool thing is the wall mount does not require any nails whatsoever, and it has a safety lock which is adjustable. Cool. Hey, real quick, I want to point this out. I just reached out to Mike and he told me that this is still going on. This offer ends let me see, March 5th, 2024. So if you buy the big pull-up bar, which I'm about to show you, he'll go ahead and he will send you a 27 to 37 inch pull-up bar system absolutely free, which is great for traveling, to my understanding. I'll do more videos on that as we move on, but that's something I want you to pay attention to. So loading capacity, the pull-up bar is made of durable steel, all that good stuff. So long story short, he went ahead and he sent one to me, and I told him, I said, look, I'm going to be 100% authentic. If this thing stinks, I'm going to go ahead and say it stinks. Yes, it was 100% free. So this is what my findings are. It's actually quite interesting. Okay, so let's unbox the unit and check out what we get inside. This thing is really solid, really solid, and heavy. Probably weighs about 20 pounds. So included is a leveling guide, very important for when you're trying to set up the bar to make sure you have a level workout surface. EVA foam handles are actually very well built, very sturdy, pretty comparable to the other things I've seen. The end support brackets come with that safety clip. They don't require any mounting hardware, and what they do is they spin to adjust their length so you can meet whatever type of hallway you're using to the length to suit your specific needs. Right there, you could take off the leveling tool if you want and place it on another part of the bar, which is pretty handy. It comes with all these different exercises in case you want to get real creative and start doing things, or in case you forget and you're just starting out. Here is all the instructions, and quite honestly, it's really not that hard to figure out. I pointed right there, that's the one I have. But one thing I noticed, it does not come with these support bars that you're going to see right there that have those two arrows. I don't know if that's with a different system or not. Great thing is it comes with two bands and two pulleys, like as if it was a functional trainer. And they're very light, but very durable. There are two D-rings that are made for attaching the bands and the handles for your workouts. That's everything that comes in the box. I was actually pretty impressed. A lot of the other pull-up bars that you're going to find on Amazon or anywhere else don't come with all these extra ads, so it actually saves you a lot of money. Keep this QR code that you're seeing me zoom in right now. That's how you get in touch with Mike in order to get your free gift. Time to install. I've had this magnetic stud finder for a long time. I'm using that, and it works great finding anything in my house. I got a link down below in the description. You can use magnets. It does the same thing. This one just has a little bit more fancy with a little level on it. This is the only place in my house that would actually work in order to test out this pull-up bar, which turns out to be about 51 inches. Hence, that's why I'm displaying the bar that could support up to 53 inches in width. One thing, it does take a little bit of time getting used to installing this, and I know you can see me, I'm using my head to kind of try to balance it out and see where it's going because, the bar is so big that I wish I had a third set of hands just so I could start feeling how it works. And once you start understanding how to set it and how to rotate it and you get the muscle memory, it's really not that bad. But I didn't see this anywhere in the instructions, and there's an awesome cheat code or hack to save yourself a ton of time. I'm going to talk about that real quick. Okay, so when you're installing this thing, the best possible thing you can do to save yourself a ton of heartache and a ton of pain is lay down the bar, put it on the ground right next to the measurement of where you're going to be placing it in what specific hallway. Let's say hypothetically you're doing a 35-inch hallway. Okay, you take your 35 inches on your tape measure, take your bar, extend the sides, the support brackets, give yourself about maybe 1/4 of an inch gap on each side. So if you're doing 35, you want to make sure that you set the bar to a total length of about 34.5 inches. So that way when you get to the bar, you don't have to rotate it as much as you see me doing here. That will save you a ton of time and a lot of frustration and make you feel like you didn't waste your time buying this thing. I promise you that will save it. Now, with talking about that cheat code, the grateful thing that I have of actually messing with this is I learned how to use it with one specific kind of frustrating, session. I got really quick at putting it together and adjusting its height, which makes it amazing. Once you get it set and level, go ahead and take your safety fasteners and just cinch them down. That way the bar won't rotate on you and you should be safe and good to go to use it. Just repeat on the other side. Too easy. Okay, now for the moment of truth. I weigh 235 pounds. Here it goes. Wow. It actually holds me. Holy crap. I remember being specifically impressed right here that there is 0 screws in the walls. It's just pressure, counter pressure, and it holds up to what it's advertised to do. So I continue to mess around and adjust the height just to see how I want it set, just so I can continue to keep practicing using it. Yep, another test, 235 pounds of pure meat popsicle, and it works. I swear this is my legit I'm impressed face. Well, with me and workout equipment, this is my legit test. I want to get in there and just yank on it and jank it, see if I can rip it out of the wall. I used a really good amount of force. I couldn't get this thing off at all. So I'm thoroughly impressed with it. It does exactly what it says. And yeah, I'm showing that right there. First and foremost, I expected that to happen to my wall. And the reason why was because when my house was built, we had a lot of paint peeling issues. So otherwise, I'm really sure that this is so well over engineered that I think what ends up happening is that this thing is built so well that as you start actually twisting, the force outward will start probably pushing those 2x4s behind the drywall a little bit. So what you're going to end up seeing is, if you're not careful and you're doing this too quick, too much, too fast because you don't trust it, you're probably going to see these things called nail pops, and that happens on the drywall. So the fact of the matter is that I think this thing is built so well, it's almost like, I don't know if you've ever seen those drywall holders for the guys when they're installing the drywall on the roof. That's exactly what I think these things are in a way. So it's just really built well. Holy crap. Okay, time to try the bands. They're rated at 30 pounds according to the description in Amazon. So I start experimenting with them. I'm trying to figure out how to get them on there. I'm trying to figure out how to do some assisted pull-ups because I do have some shoulder injuries, so it's nice to have that option. And everything seems to be working pretty good. And the bands are actually really great quality. I'm super impressed by them. So I double them up here and I try to feel it out, and it's definitely feeling more than 30 pounds, especially where you can grip. Cool thing I love about the bands, besides me trying to figure out how to stumble through to get my foot on the bottom there, is that they all depend on where you're standing, where you are, and how you use them to level up your layers of resistance. So I wanted to try out the D-rings that came with the handles and attach them to the bands, and that's kind of how I figured out how to hook them up. So obviously these things are not like commercial grade handles, but they are super light and they have the EVA foam on them. And you can see here, I'm really trying to tug on this thing as it's put in the wall, and it's put me through the paces. I'm starting to sweat already. So I really start, getting in there and using them. I'm really impressed with the quality of what you get for $59 through this whole system. So here I go, I'm going around, and now I'm starting to get a lot of confidence in the way the bar is placed in my frame. And I'm not too worried about it smacking me in the back of the head with the bands. And you can see I'm probably giving it about a resistance level of, oh, it feels like at least 120 to 150 pounds at the very peak of when I'm doing these chest press slash chest flies. So, and it's giving me a good workout. Now, the other thing too is it's super, super awesome because you can easily change from like chest to back rapidly. All you have to do is just move the position of your body and you're ready to go in any type of exercise that you're looking at. So, that was thoroughly impressive. So right here, I'm trying to figure out how to do a little bit more assisted pull-ups using the bands, but I figured out real quick that I needed to make it a little bit higher, and there I am testing it to make sure it's not going to fall. So when I started changing the heights, moving things around, I got very comfortable with using adjusting and moving the Iron Surge pull-up bar into different positions. So here I'm really starting to kick my butt. I'm sweating. I wanted to show that on camera, like legit. It's working me out. And the other thing that I love is these bands, when you're doing them for chest press, you really get a deep dig workout in there. So, and then now I'm kind of changing things around. I'm just doing tricep pull downs. I'm really yanking on the bar, and I'm trying to see if we'll even budge. And as you can see, it's not going anywhere. I don't know how far back in the hallway I am, but it's staying put. So it's built very well, great design, and back to chest flies. I love my chest flies. But anyway, so the safety pins, move them out, get them out of the way. I'm here now. I want to change my position. I want to see what I could do on the lower end of what's going to happen with the Iron Surge pull-up bar. I'm going to try to turn it into like a push-up bar, slash maybe I can get some curls for the girls. You know, those bicep curls, got to do those if you're a guy, especially if you haven't changed your workout. But moving the pull-up bar down, rotating it and extending it like what the arrow says on the actual bar itself. And now what I'm doing is some bicep curls. And this is me just barely starting to figure out how to experiment with this machine. And so far, these bicep curls with those bands, I'm getting a really, really good, powerful, like, workout in my muscles. I can't describe it. So I know I've got to change some of the band's positioning. I try to do some shoulder presses right there. It didn't feel quite right, or is actually, quite honestly, it was too heavy. So you can see moving this thing, changing the way things go, just getting used to how the bands work, wrapping them around the pole. It is a learning curve, but once you get it, I'm pretty sure you're going to be satisfied with it. Now, right there, I'm getting a really nice deep workout. It didn't feel heavy enough, but I also wanted to show like from a different perspective to so maybe that people could see how the band wobbles and to see what the quality of the equipment was. And get into some push-ups. You can kind of see some slight bend in the bar, totally normal. I don't think there's any issues with it, but the great thing is I hook up some bands, I get my butt on the floor, and I get right into some back rows. And as far as I could go back, these bands compensated for that. They didn't break, they didn't pull the pull-up bar off the door frame there, excuse me, the hallway frame. And as I scooch my butt back even further and further, guess what happens to the bands? The resistance goes up. So, pros and cons, you kind of have to have a deep area in order to stretch that out, or you just double and triple up the folds in your bands, and then that way you can get heavier resistance. And the great thing is it just doesn't take up that much space, and your imagination is key for all these workouts. There I am showing again how quick you can swap between workouts, and it's kicking my butt. I'm sweating pretty good. So it was a great workout. What I'm about to show you has nothing to do with the IRONSURGE Pull-up Bar, okay? It has nothing to do with it, because I want to be very transparent with everybody that my house was the issue. So you can see where I had the IRONSURGE Pull-up Bar. We had paint issues well before Mr. Mike sent the bar. Well before. So the chances of this happening to you are slim to none. What I can see happening though is when you're setting this thing up, is what'll happen is you might not trust the equipment quite right yet, or you're getting used to it, so you're gonna over tighten it. And this thing is built very well. I can guarantee you that if you over tighten it, you're probably gonna cause some damage. So I wanna show you what could happen. You can see here's a nail pop. And you can kind of see the frame here with the shadow, you can really see it. But you can see how there's definite indentation, and you can kind of see the frame here with the shadow, you can really see it. Even still, if you use a stud, like right here, here's gonna be a stud. That's a nail pop from how horrible they did the job on my house when they built that. That's a whole other story. But if you push, or if you twist far enough out on the wall, your 2x4 will shift and move, thus causing these nail pops that you see right there. So be very careful when you're installing this. Get used to it. It is built very, very well. I've got to hand it to Mr. Mike for the IRONSURGE Pull-up Bar. It's really, really worth it. So the great pros about this specific brand, the IRONSURGE, is it comes with these attachments, and these are supposedly 30 pounds. But I can tell you right now, with the way I have it doubled and folded right here, this thing supports way more than 30 pounds for resistance. I mean, I feel like this thing's probably getting, depending on how far back I stand, probably giving me, man, that's probably at least 40 pounds there. Oh yeah, now we're getting into probably like 80. And, you know, I don't have a caliper and I'm not testing it that way, but these bands, they're really good quality. They feel good, they're stretchy, they're not like crispy, they're not gonna fall apart anytime soon. So this thing could also probably be really good for people who have rehab and they have injuries that they're nursing and they're trying to get back to strength. Plus, the other thing, we all know, if you see my channel, I've done some videos on a functional trainer. Well, first and foremost, that functional trainer, when it's a good deal, is at $2,000. This whole setup right here, the whole setup right here is $59 on Amazon. So you get all of this, and then when you get really used to it and you can move it down to the bottom of your frame, well, you pretty much have a very budget-friendly, low-cost functional trainer with a pull-up bar, depending on how you look at it. And the cool thing you get about it versus weight stacks is that bands are starting to become the new thing for when it comes to resistance and building muscle. So this is really something cool. I think it's innovative, and also it's utilizing different space. So that's my personal opinion on it. The cons of it, because there are cons, if you're not careful when you're installing it and you don't take your time and get used to the product, you could cause damage to your wall because it's built so well. This thing is built very well. So please take your time getting used to this before you cause damage to your hallway or wherever you're mounting it. One of the coolest things about it is when you're done with your workout, this thing takes so much less space in being able to put it somewhere. I mean, you could put it in the corner, you could put it under your bed, you could take it with the attachments on it. Me, in this case, I just go find a closet and I just stick it in the closet right there. And that's it. It's done. It's out of the way. So it definitely has space-saving qualities. What are you doing?
Swinging on this.
You swinging on it? You having fun?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Could be in jungle gym as well. Sweet. Thanks, buddy. You having fun? Mm-hmm. Awesome. Alrighty. Okay, so I plan on doing a lot more videos with this IRONSURGE Pull-up Bar. Mr. Mike was actually kind enough to send me the smaller one because I'm going to experiment and stick it in my suitcase and see if I can take it with me on the road for some good band workouts. But anyways, if you're interested in buying this, I've got a link down in the description. I get a small commission. It helps grow the channel. Thank you so much for it if you do. $59. Comes with all this stuff for the space, being able to put it away, and not needing, I mean, mean, my functional trainer takes a tremendous amount of space inside the garage. This, I could take it down real quick, put it away, and get some very quality workouts. So if you need something that's gonna help you on a budget and also come with some really good attachments for the price compared to other ones, they don't do it. I'm gonna say right now, the IRONSURGE Pull-up Bar is going to suit your needs. For me, it suits my needs because now I've got something to experiment on the road with. And thank you so much, Mr. Mike. I appreciate that. If you buy it, QR code. Use the QR code. It'll send you to an email. That email, you can pick a free gift. Jump on that as soon as possible. Otherwise, you like this video? Share it, thumbs up it, do all that cool stuff. Give me a subscription. More to come. John the Pilot at Soar More. See ya.